highest rates in the country. And everybody said, well, this new priest, what is he going to do about it? And the very first things in my preaching, in my serving, in my celebrating,
Yes.
mass and occasions and all that, I called the people and asked them, are they going to be a part of stopping it? It looked that time almost impossible,
Yes.
and maybe some people's eyes even absurd, but to me it was the reality,
It was reality.
absolute reality. Guess what? Two things happened. Of course, thousands of other things happened, but two things happened
Yes.
soon. After a while, serving in three churches, American churches, two American churches, and then founder of the Albanian New Church and all that, I was technically doing three full-time jobs in the church,
Yes.
and at the same time doing my Doctor of Ministry program, which I wanted to grow old in the education school in Dayton, Ohio,
Yes.
United Theological Seminary. And at one time, the bishops complained to Cardinal Beard and told him, Your Eminence, there is something, a problem with Father Frank.
I see.
And he said, with various priests, there are various problems, there are human beings and all that, but I never heard any problems with him. Please tell me what's the problem.
Yes.
They said, he's holding three full-time jobs for the Archdiocese of Detroit in three different churches, and he's continuing his education, Doctor of Ministry, after so many decades
Yes.
of education in the United States. He's continuing that in Dayton, Ohio. He said, I approved all of that. I am aware of that.
Yes.
And he stated to them, I'm your bishop, four bishops, and I'm his bishop. And I'm ordering all of you to leave him alone
Yes.
because he is the most workaholic priest the Catholic Church had in 2,000 years.
Wow.
And his mind and his body will tell him when to slow down.
Yes.
And then they said, okay, I got the message about what happened that day,
Yes.
maybe 8 months later, from one of the bishops who whispered in my ear, this is what Cardinal said about your work.
Yes.
I said, I hope he's right and I hope I'm doing right. Then I made as a challenge to myself and to all Albanian American community, not only in Michigan, but in United States,
Yes.
to stop killing, to stop the murder. And when I was preaching that, it was on the radio, it was from the pulpit, it was on occasions, it was on the streets, it was everywhere.
Yes.
I kind of maybe even sounded a little bit out of line. And what does he mean? This countless murders and all this kind of stuff, and he wants to stop it?
Yes.
What's going on with him? I said, wait and see, watch and see.
Wait, watch and see.
I worked hard. I will have to check my records, but in the near future, was a year and a half, two, whatever, after
Yes.
I did undertake that, guess what? It is the records, government records, church records,
Yes.
the killing, the murder stopped completely within the Albanian American community, not only in Michigan, but anywhere in the country, United States. And
Incredible.
when it stopped, I said, now we have to continue like that.
We have to continue.
And I said, we must celebrate every anniversary, every year anniversary
Yes.
of no murder, and we have to
Yes.
stop it forever.
Oh,
Guess what?
Yes.
First year done, and I have the documentary. I sent the report to the cardinal, to the church, to the government officials. First anniversary of not a single crime or murder of any kind or loss of life within the Albanian American community in Michigan or any place in the country. Everybody, they shocked. They said,
bless
we believe that will not be done this century or next century ever
Yes.
because of the rate it was and the unfortunate tragedies from Europe and all of that. And guess what?
Mhm.
I continued that until the time then. First, we built the largest Albanian center, Catholic Church. It happened to be the largest Albanian project outside Balkans in Europe,
I see.
any place in the world, and I did not know about that.
Yeah.
The historians looked at that and all that, and that then continued crime-free community,
Crime-free.
the church, the community,
Yes.
not only in Michigan but any place crime-free.
I see.
Then the other churches, and I have all of that evidence, would invite me throughout the state of Michigan, especially the Archdiocese of Detroit and various cities here,
Yeah.
to go to various churches and preach how to stop crime, how to stop murdering each other.
Oh, that's so
That was
nice.
one of gifts of God that I do not credit myself ever with that.
Yes.
But again, was using God's word, using humanitarian terms, using all my education
Yes.
in theology, philosophy, psychology, psychotherapeutic counseling, my experience and work at Northville State Hospital during my education, and various institutions and all of that. And of course, I was saying, if I happen to be that kind of workaholic and continue that, I want to prove that murder can stop, should stop, and must stop.
It must stop.
We must do that time and again
Yes.
in our beloved country, United States, that is claiming so many lives
Yes.
in various forms. Very often, it comes to my mind, and I happen to be a world historian before I became a priest, and even taught that here in the United States or whatever. But to make the story short, I want to deal with the little bit statistics, how many murders of various kinds
Yes.
we have in our society,
Yes.
and then make a goal for all of ourselves, from any house
Yes.
to the White House
Yes.
and House of Congress and Senate and all of them, that I've been a visitor there time and again, to stop any kind of crime and especially murder. Because
Absolutely.
the moment we kill one other human being, we killed one other member of our family. Doesn't matter, brother, sister, whatever.
Yes.
We killed somebody who is God's temple. God created that person in his image.
Yes.
And God is present in that person. By killing that person, we are killing the temple of God,
I see.
the part of God, that one that has to leave and be out of there.
Yes.
And these are mysteries that humankind will never understand. We can try forever, but it will never happen. At the same time, those are so simple that every human being is so precious. Every human being must live, and the ones who are supposedly, or as we may think, or whatever, bad, they need more of our help and more attention,
Yes, that is so
because our highest calling, all of the people in the world,
true. Yes.
doesn't matter who, our highest calling on the face of the earth, which is my highest call in my life, from the moment I get up in the morning, 7 days a week until I go to sleep, to turn sinners into saints.
Nice.
Not by praying, by consulting,
Yes.
by smiling,
Yes.
by loving, not by hitting, not by cursing, not by this kind of stuff. And I do that, I practice that with this particular sinner every single day, 7 days a week, from the morning till evening, then I say to everybody, for God's sake, if I practice that with me every single moment of my life, I have the right then to practice it with everybody.
Everybody.
Yes, and especially, God forbid, but with those who have the tendency
Yes.
to go and commit murder.
Yes.
And with this kind of approach, with this kind of attitude, with this kind of holy mission, doesn't matter what religion somebody believes,
No, it does not.
it is preventable. And crime got to stop. Killing